That's no moon.
Clear Bay 327. We are opening the magnetic field.
Hello there, and welcome to Docking Bay 327. Today, we're going to look at how I finished my Haunted Carbonite and installed all of the panels. So I'm going to take you through how I built them, made all of the greeblies, and installation, and then a few hero shots at the end. Now, I know some of you are probably saying to yourselves, hey, wait a minute, that hero panel, which is the one lighting up, is on the wrong side. Now, that may be true for the majority of the films, but there is one scene where they actually flipped it and had the hero panel on the right side as they're pushing Han down the hallway through Cloud City, getting ready to take him to Boba's ship. So now I'm doing it because if I put it on the right side, as you can see, it's too close to the engine room wall. You'd never be able to see it. So I swapped them to the other side so that it fits my space and still looks awesome. So, hope you enjoy this video. Let's get into it. First, let's take a look at the panels and a few other items I purchased. The panels used in the original film prop were actually Volvo dashboard panels. I bought these from custom3dstuff.com. Todd Blatt sells almost everything you need to build your own life-size Haunted Carbonite. And let me tell you, these panels are fantastic. They are the most authentic I have found, and also the least expensive. You can see here they even have the original wording for the temp and tank gauges. I also got the decal set, the hero panel grate, and handles. Todd did an amazing job with all the parts, and I would highly recommend you go check out his site. Links in the description below. If you ever want to build one of these for yourself, you also need to join the Haunted Carbonite Builders group on Facebook. Everyone there is super friendly and willing to help. I found out about the electronics for the hero panel in that group. A company called Fetronics provides a completed kit for you to put into your panel. Includes the LEDs, displays, and the control knobs. And it even has this different sequences from the movie. The link to their site is in the description below as well. So to begin, I started with the hero panel because, let's face it, it's the most work, but also the most fun. I sprayed the panel with a metallic silver and then added the acrylic pieces that came with the decal set. After test fitting them, I glued them all into place. I connected all the elements for the lighting kit to the circuit board and installed them into the panel. I wanted the single green LED to fill the entire piece of the large acrylic, so I used a 2-gang electrical box because it fit perfectly. I lined the inside of the box with reflective tape to enhance the light. It turned out pretty great. Now that the main hero panel was finished, I turned my attention to the other 7 panels. These all have a similar look and feel. These reference pics are from a post on the Haunted Carbonite Facebook group and really helped as I set out to make them look as close to the film prop as possible. So for these, I decided I would make the greeblies out of found parts and materials. All of them have a metal plate covering the holes in each panel and create a surface to glue the greeblies onto. I found a sheet of rolled aluminum at Lowe's, made a template out of paper, traced the pattern onto the sheet metal, and cut out a plate for all 7 panels. The metal was thin enough to cut with my tin snips. I have these leather mechanics gloves that I use to keep from cutting my hands and fingers on the sharp edges. Next were the heatsink greeblies. I found this U-channel piece of aluminum at Lowe's for under $10. and decided I would cut this down using my bandsaw to create a similar shape to the heat sinks. I used pocket hole screws to attach the panel to the metal backing and for the heatsink greeblies. This gave me a mechanical connection so I didn't have to try and glue the metal and plastic together, and the pocket hole screws have a much more in-universe look to them rather than a flathead or Phillips screw. One heatsink down, 20 more to go. When making a large number of similar pieces for any of my builds, I like to think it through and find a good process that's efficient as possible. Almost an assembly line method that's easy to repeat. I measured, marked, and cut all of the rest. I punched them and drilled the holes so they were all ready to install into the rest of the panels. Lastly, I utilized my C-clamps to pull the metal tight with the panel and drill in the screws to attach each greebly. By the time I added these to the last panel, man, I was really in a groove. The rest of the greeblies are simple circular shapes with only a couple of different diameters. I dug around my shop to see if I had something close and noticed that these plastic washers on the back of an old CNC control panel were just about the right size. I painted them a silver metallic and glued them to the metal plate. For the other larger rings, I used several different pieces. A washer for one, a pill bottle lid for another, and ended up slicing up a piece of PVC pipe for the final 4 panels to go on the right side of Han. I used the reference pic on my phone as I put each one together so I would get the same layout. Quick tip, take the time to wipe off the tip of your super glue bottle each time you use it. Otherwise, it makes it very difficult to use after a while and just makes a huge mess. Lastly, I added the decals to each one to match the picture. And here they are all assembled and ready to attach to my Han and Carbonite. So for the install, I started with the hero panel. I used some of my favorite leftover chalkboard MDF and cut a hole for the electronics to fit. I tacked the board to the Han and Carbonite with brad nails. Then I used a pocket hole screw in each of the tabs to mount the panel in place. Let's listen in as I narrate these final steps. So for these top 2 here, I had a couple of these scrap leftover chalkboard MDF pieces. It's got dry erase on the back. You can get them like 2x4 sheets. I've got several in the workshop I'm going to cut down for the rest, but I had these couple left over and they just barely fit. So I'm going to tack this one into place with my nail gun. And they fit just perfectly. I was afraid they wouldn't because I cut these holes way before I ever got the actual panels. I was just trusting that the blueprints that I had were accurate. Probably shouldn't do that, but I didn't even know if I was going to get these actual panels either, so it's going to look so cool when it's done. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, baby. Sweet. Bummer about this side is you're never gonna really see it. All my cool greebly layouts and everything. At least for now. If I ever move him, then I'll swap all of them out, put them in the right spot. the right side. But for now, there we go. Panels are in. One more thing. So there you go, a completed Han and Carbonite life-size prop for my Star Wars office. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for a whole lot of cool stuff coming your way. I do want to thank my Patreon members for your support. If you want to help support the channel as well, please go over to Patreon and sign up for a membership. All kinds of exclusive content, behind the scenes, some really great stuff that I can provide on that platform for you as a member. The link's in the description below. Hope you all are well, stay safe, and until next time, build with what you know and figure out the rest.